When we go to a botanica or a new age witchcraft store and we ask them to fix us a candle, most likely they will start off by carving something on top. Now it can be someone's name because the wax symbolizes the flesh. It can be a pair of initials, and this is the case in love spells because two people in love, you know, they join as one. So that's why. It could have symbols like a heart, again for love spells. If it's for money, most likely a dollar sign. It can be words of power like come to me, you owe me, things like that. You can carve religious symbols to show your faith in your work. Some people poke holes all the way down so they can fill those holes with herbs and oils. And some people just leave it alone. They leave it totally blank untouched. Now when they carve what they carve, it's going to be with something sharp, of course. It can be a regular kitchen knife. It can be a dagger, atame, a nail, anything. But once you use something like this, you can use that knife for like food, like this. I use this to carve and fix my candles for me and for my clients. But I don't use this for like to cut my meat or nothing like that. So once you use this for magical use, it should be only used for magical use, okay? Now, after they're done carving whatever they're done carving into it, they're going to add the oils and herbs. Now when it's time to add your oils and herbs, people, especially new practitioners, like to go by the clock method. I don't do that. I go by the planet's rotation. If you do not know what that means, I suggest you look it up. Because part of this is you doing some of the research yourself. So, that's how I do it. I go by the planet's rotation. But, you just don't add oils and herbs and that's it. You have to have a specific combination. For example, a lot of people who are doing a love spell, they think they just have to pick rose petals because rose petals is a symbol of love. Now, that's not how it like really works. Yes, it will bring love to you, but what kind of love? You have red roses for passion, pink roses for romance and communication, friendship, things like that. White roses are to find new love or to start over again. So it depends what kind of love. Okay? Now, like I said, you just don't put rose petals in and that's it. It needs to have a combination. Rose petals for love, depending what kind. If it's for hot passion, red. If it's more for romance, pink. If you want to start over or find someone new, white. Now, you need an herb for communication because you want to communicate with this person. You want to talk to this person. An herb to clear out all roadblocks in case anything gets in the way or interferes, or maybe someone tries to say something to make that person not want to talk to you anymore, because it does happen. You need an herb to bless this work, so on and so forth. You see what I'm saying? You need a combination of herbs to make a spell successful. You just can't pick one herb and expect it to do all this stuff. Okay? Okay, the reason why we add certain herbs is because certain herbs carry a certain energy, a certain vibration that draws or repels. Okay? And some can do more than one thing. And some, if you want them to do more than one thing, you have to combine them with other herbs. So this is why. And when we do this, it becomes one. I have a friend who's a practitioner who is also a computer expert. So the way he describes candle magic to people is the candle is the computer and each herb you pick is a new software program. Okay? So if you know about computers, hopefully this will help because that's the best way other than what I said to explain it. There are some herbs that are flammable. And I know what you're gonna say, well, all herbs burn. No shit. Yes. Anything can burn, anything can be flammable if you set that shit on fire. But there are some herbs that are extremely flammable. Okay? And the reason why some are flammable because some contain high oils or resin. And this is why some herbs are considered more flammable than others. Okay? And this is one of the reasons why when someone fixes a candle without knowing the proper steps or the proper knowledge, it's why sometimes their candles catch on fire because they're just adding herbs and not really reading all the stuff they need to read about it before they actually add it to their spell work, okay? Especially when they fix a candle. So do your research, find out which ones are flammable and which ones are not, okay? Now, I'm gonna say this because roses are considered flammable. When they are completely dry, I like to turn them into a powder. And this will help cut down on the chances of it catching fire. So you always have to take steps. I'm not saying you can't add them, just make sure you take the proper steps like I did. I make a powder and I add only so much. You just need a little. You don't need to fill it up, okay? Now let's talk about the oils now. If you go to a Botanica or a witchcraft store, you will notice those tiny glass containers that have oils. Some people call them potions, you can call them whatever you want. And if you notice, the labels are like love me oil, come to me oil, money oil, happiness oil, this oil, that oil, okay? So these oils are made from flowers, herbs, things like that. Now, if they are real oils, obviously they just don't put one herb in it to make that oil. They have to combine different herbs to make a specific blend to draw that specific item, person, or thing that you want. Just like when we combine all the herbs here, okay? So the oil does pretty much the same thing as the herbs, but it also releases a scent, a smell, okay? And that smell is what's attracting the things that we want. Not only does it help attract what we want, but the smell cleanses the air around us, okay? That smell from the oil cleanses the air and makes that space, it helps make that space a positive place for this stuff to come into our lives, okay? Now, not only that, but the oil, since it's liquid, it can be symbolized as water, which is one of the elements, okay? The herb is the element of earth, okay? So those two elements already, okay? Now, new practitioners who are aware of spiritual cologne, A lot of them think they can use that instead of actual oils. Please do not do that. Spiritual cologne is very flammable. It will catch fire. This is a fire hazard, so please do not add spiritual cologne. Okay? The way I was taught, my mentor will blow into the candle, okay, 3 times to give it life. And that is air. That's the element air. So we got the water, that's the oil, the earths that are the herbs. Now we got air. Okay? After she would blow in it, that's when she would say her prayer. So after they're done being the symbol, after they're done adding the herbs, oils, powders, whatever they put, now it's time to say your prayer or chant over the candles. Now the prayer is, you are praying to a higher being. 9 out of 10 practitioners will do this. They'll say a prayer or a chant of something. It can be something from the Bible. It can be something from the heart that they will say over the candle to enchant it, okay? To give it more power. Not only that, but to give it more of a direction. So you are programming the candle, okay, by doing this. And all the oils and herbs that you put in there are the little softwares, I guess you can say, that makes all this up. Now, on the next and final part of this introduction, I'm going to be showing you, and I'm going to be fixing the candle and showing you how to do it. Because I know explaining is one thing, but showing you is something else. So that's why I wanted to explain things before I showed you, okay? And when I do it, I'm going to go only up to before I say my prayer. Because my prayer is my prayer. It's a private one that I say. Okay? When you do this part, you have to make up your own prayer. You can, like I said, you take one from the Bible. If you are from another religion, you can say any chant you want. It's up to you. Okay? Now, some people will consider this an element because spirit, earth, air, fire, water, spirit. Okay? Now, once she blows into the candle and says the prayer to pray over the candle, the person will take it home, and we go home with our candle and we turn it on. So we have to set the wick on what? Fire. There's another element. The wick represents the human soul, and the fire represents the spirit we are calling. It can be God, Jesus, the Holy Mother, angels, saints, spirits, any higher beings. It doesn't matter. The flame, the fire represents the spirit we are calling. The light that shines from that flame symbolizes the power they have. Okay? The light is the power they are using to attract things that we want or to repel things that we don't want in our lives. And since the wick symbolizes the human soul, when we light it, it symbolizes the person in question and that spirit connecting as one. Okay? And that light, like I said, is to draw or to repel what we want or don't want in life. It's very important to know these things, because the more you know, the more you will concentrate and focus. and this will help you have a more higher chance of succeeding in your spell work. Okay? So there's all the elements. The oil is liquid, so it's considered water element. The herbs and the powder is what? That is the earth element. Okay? Then you blow into it, that's air. We pray to the higher being, that's spirit. We go home and light it, fire. You got all 5 elements: earth, air, fire, water. Okay? And there you have it, 5 elements in a spell. So everything has in this candle has its job to do. The wax has its job to do. The wick has its job to do. The oil has its job to do. The herbs has its job to do. The flame has its job to do. The spirit has its job to do. Okay? It all has its job to do to bring in that desire or repel what we don't want. But it goes about it a different way. Okay? And when we do this, it combines as one. And this is how a spell is made, by combining everything to one. Now, not every spell has to have all the elements. Okay? But it does help. Now, I want to clear this up real quickly because some people have asked me this. Because they would go to a witch doctor, a hoodoo practitioner, a brujo, and they would say, well, this person never put herbs or oils or nothing like that in their candles. Okay, this is true, but most likely these people are like the older generation, because these are the people who have practiced their whole life to the point where they evolved, where their magic evolved. Okay, you can evolve, your magic can evolve, it can develop. As time goes by, as you are practicing your magic, okay, it will get stronger to the point where you will need less things. Okay, so like me, when I was younger, because I've been practicing since I was like 9 years old. When I was younger, yes, I needed help, even though I was born gifted with this. You still need help, okay? Because my magic was strong, but in a way it was weak to the point where I needed this, okay? So when someone has been practicing all their lives and they reach a certain level or a certain age because of all their experience, your magic will develop, it will enhance to the point where you will just need less things. Some people just light a candle like this and don't fix it and don't do anything because they have it in their head. Their intent is that strong already, okay? Now the reason we add, like I said, the reason we add the oils and herbs and the chants and the prayers is because every time we add something else, it makes it stronger, okay? It makes it stronger. And this is what every new practitioner needs, is help like this, okay? And once you develop yourself, once you practice for so many years and you develop yourself, you are going to see a difference. You're going to see how more fast your magic works, okay? Don't expect every spell you do is going to be perfect, like it's going to work like that, because that's not how it is. People say there's no rules in magic. I disagree. There are plenty of rules in magic, because if there wasn't, then anyone can do it. It wouldn't be this hard. Some people like to be in denial, but that's them. I think I covered everything from this topic. If you like this video, give me a thumbs up, give me a thumbs down. If you don't, subscribe, share, comment, follow. I don't know. I'll post the last part probably tomorrow or the next day. Until then, may God bless you and yours.